Hello, everyone. So, excuse me. I've been wanting to make this video for a little while, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the L.A.P.D. and other governmental officials. And it's just, excuse me, it's very generic. You know, not all people are the same. So, I don't know. I can't get a good angle here, man. Anyhow, so I was going to talk about, if I can just figure out which way I want to do this. So I was going to talk about, I believe there are a lot of, excuse me, LAPD officers and other various people in official capacity, like maybe firefighters, council members, whether it's Board of Public Works or whatever it is. A lot of people do not stand along with child abuse in any shape or form. Now, the kinds of folks that are willing to take checks or payments or whatever they do nowadays to clean money, you know, with scrubby little bubbles. Those kinds of, I hate to say those kinds of people, but the people that are willing to look the other way in regards to child abuse or even a potential risk for fire or structural damage to that blue building. We all know that building is really old. And you all know, and I know, that structurally, more than likely, it's not sound. I'm not an engineer, but the foundation of the building, not to mention all the young people, children, that they give ethics handlings in the basement. And I'm not an expert on fire safety or making sure that there is a safe escape out of the building. But I would venture to say that it's not safe, especially when you have people in that building that are bunked up 6 high. I saw a video the other day on TikTok. A person was showing how Sea Org members get up to their bunk when it's like higher up. So it was interesting to me today when I was leaving my comments, and I'd like to make some shorts with my comments, but I don't think people record the Board of Public Works anymore. I know Mama Squirrel does, but the audio is not like really good. But back to the propensity for it to be a complete matchbox if there was a fire. And I'm going to get back to, in generalities, government officials, police officers, firefighters, whomever. And yeah, I probably don't look bright-eyed because I've been going through breast cancer treatment for almost 2 years. And I'm doing well. So I felt like whomever was running the meeting today was not very polite. And when I came in with my comments about the children that could burn in the building and the adults, to include the handicapped, I felt like the person who was running the meeting was kind of, when she switched over to the next person, I don't know, like she made this, I don't know, kind of like like she was bored. She was bored. Those are the kind of people that don't give an F about the children or the adults in those buildings. Scientologists. And someone had mentioned that they're having private meetings, which I am not an expert in the law, but I thought that was not legal to have private meetings when it is in concerning to government, which means to control, by the way. And I guess one of those, the guy sitting in the board is, weirdly enough, was acting very bored. Probably more than likely a plant, or got a nice little chunk of change, or what is it called when in-kind gift? Maybe got a new car or something from Scientology. So what I'm trying to say and to get to here is the everyday Joe or Jane, there are a lot of people that do not align with child abuse. And I feel like each case with Scientology families, every case is different. So you can't generalize and say every single family's straight up abusing their child. We know about the RPF. We know about the child's RPF. We know about the RPF's RPF. Which I feel like those officers outside of the Shrine Auditorium, you guys should go look into what Shrine means too. Those guys that want to guard Scientology, which shows unbiased policing and aligning with criminal activities, those ones, I believe they should volunteer for the RPF's RPF at least 5 years. But again, what I wanted to get back to, and in generalities, it's not illegal or unlawful to speak in generalities. The people that want to do something to help the children, or even some of the Scientologists that want to escape this black magical spell, this binding spell, whatever it is, they're the everyday people. What do they do in police forces or units, whatever we call them now? They will blackmail good cops with their retirement. They do it to firefighters too. What did we see with, I'm forgetting her name, the firefighter chief that was running Los Angeles. You see what they did to her? And she was right. Moloch, anyone? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying everyone's into that, but... And it would be interesting to see what all land companies, or what are those called? The companies that come in and buy property or like turn them over. It would be interesting to see what contractors and companies are involved with that in Los Angeles. There are just so many legalities being completely ignored. And we have to think about, it's really easy for all of us to say, go in there and do this. Do you guys know how unhinged some of those Scientologists are? Did you see one of those baby boomer Scientologists trying to go after streets and whom else? Because they love to go against women, because believe he went against Lara FM, and I don't know, a bunch of people. They're unhinged. They're completely unhinged. So you guys all have to think strategically here. And again, I'm not an expert. Freaking my father and my uncles and all that, they were probably way better with all this like military strategy, etc. One thing I did learn when I was a military police person a million years ago, 95 Bravo, hoorah. One thing I did learn, and I never had to use it, was clearing buildings was the most dangerous job that you can do. It's the most dangerous job you can do. So, like, that's what I'm trying to get at is government officials, whether they're Freemasons or not, not everybody's into the darkness. The people that want, and not just Freemasons, all the other handshake clubs, the people that want to do the right thing, this is not an easy task. And yeah, we get irritated with a lot of the L.A.P.D. I do too, but would you guys want to deal with them every day? I wouldn't. The good L.A.P.D. cops, they know what's happening to the kids. The government officials know. The children in Scientology are the currency of that black magical binding spell, mind control. And then second to the children are the adult slave force. And the fact that the woman running that meeting today was like snarky, acting bored with me. I mean, think about that, you guys. They're bored with us. They're bored. They're bored with the 6 and 7-year-olds in there that we're telling them about are getting ethics handling, are getting asked questions by grown men. How many lawsuits right now alone are going on? Valerie Haney, Gavin Potter was a few years ago. Whitney Mills. Whom else? Well, the Headleys just a few years ago. Just recently was Laura De Crescenzo. They know what's going on. So they can act bored all day and act dumb all day. I wonder who that baldish looking guy that's acting like he's so freaking completely bored is. I wonder what his name is. Sorry, excuse for an official. Sorry, absolutely sorry. Don't you wonder if you got paid? Come on. He might even be into young girls too. We don't know. I'm just making a statement. We're standing up for all these young girls. How many accounts have we heard about with the young Scientology girls over and frickin' over? Reese Cabell was as assaulted, groomed as a 7-year-old girl. The fuck? But they're bored, everybody. They're bored. Now, I come from a military family. I act really militant, but I'm actually not. My eyeshadow's like unbalanced, but I'm very disciplined, extremely so. I want to get through this breast cancer treatment, get back in the pool, start working out, trying to become some semblance of a human being. But yeah, anyways, on my father's side, all kinds of military. So, we just grew up with hearing these stories. I'm talking about World War II. My dad was a Korean War vet. He didn't serve on the front lines, but he served during. And I had, I believe, 3 uncles on my paternal side that fought in the Pacific somewhere, all different places. My oldest uncle, who's no longer here, was a Marine that served during the World War II. I forget where he was. I think it was in the Pacific somewhere. And he was a firefighter. He was like hardcore. He wouldn't have been on board with any of this stuff. So So a lot of them are not on board. And we do know that in the area of Los Angeles, there's a lot of dark stuff going on. But not everyone's doing that. And a lot of people that are in it want out. Right now is the time for love and compassion. I've never actually recorded a vertical this long. I don't know what my time limit is. We're going to see. We're going to see. But, okay, so what I want to get to is, one, Los Angeles police, and I don't want to put it all on them because they clearly would need backup. It's just not as easy as everyone thinks it is. We could talk all day about the permits, but if they did enforce it and then they push it, then everybody's going to like lose their you know what. And they're concerned with, number one, lawsuits. Do you guys think for 1 minute Scientology's not going to sue the city? Which I don't know how all this kind of stuff goes on. I mean, I kind of do, but do you think for 1 minute some of these people are not getting fair gamed? They love to kill animals. That one that I read yesterday or the day before about the anonymous guy, allegedly they killed his cat. I believe they did. They get off on that. See, they can never pick a fair fight. They have to bully or beat up women, abuse, neglect, physically abuse a child, or they have to hurt or kill animals. They can't do a fair fight. And those kind of men especially are loved in general pop. Or, what do they call them? The K-rooms. Go watch Viking Mindset. I know a lot of people here might not be on board with that. I am. 8 generations, Viking Celtic. I got a little German in me, a little bit of others, but that's the majority of my DNA. I can't help myself. But any good investigator, any good police officer, any good, good one, they know it's a powder keg ready to explode. And they have to think about their safety. Nobody's going to go in there. I mean, blue building, whatever building it is. Nobody's going to go in there and say, you got to get out and all that. It's just not going to happen. It's not. And think about, even if they did that, their minds are locked up. I remember watching a show about cults regarding the Mormons. And I'm sorry, I don't know all of the different sects of the Mormons, but it was when they, like the authorities and CPS, went in and tried to rescue all these minor girls that were getting hired by grown men because, marrying them, little girls, procreating with little girls. It was freaking sick. They went in there, they did all this. It was Texas, I believe. What's that creepo weirdo? Warren Jeffs, I believe it was his compound. Isolation, you ever notice they all do the isolation? Must be a coincidence. And then what I'm trying to get to is that in the end, and then the mothers, I don't think they did it very, compassionately. So the mothers were all upset because they took their kids, and it was a mess. They wound up returning them in the end because it's up here. And I believe a lot of people were trying to do the right thing then. But from what I understand, CPS did not do They didn't do a very good job. And who knows? It's always blamed on, oh, there's not a big enough budget. But I mean, it just should have been more thought out. Pedos be pedoing, you know? What kind of man is going to stand and act bored when we're talking about child SA? Make it make sense. Those bubbles ain't going to clean all of it. What do they say? Shit rolls downhill or something like that? Or maybe it runs uphill. So, the point I wanted to make, and I'm all around the world, is the police officers, federal investigators, which I personally don't think we're ever going to see it, unfortunately. They have to think about their safety. They have to think about the public safety, and not even to mention all the money, because we know that's what it's all about. Because, you know, child slave labor brings in a lot of money. What do you think? Child, you know whating, you know, when you run out into where the cars and the trucks are, why do you think nobody's ever really stopped it? All those stories on the NEWS, you know, like a noose, I don't believe them. They're way too generic. Anyways, I don't want to say too much right now, but it's always like, oh, we stopped this, you know, honking the horns, you know, in the traffic. We stopped this thing in the traffic. You know, 300 children that we never see them. There's no names to them. And they always pin it on one person and we never see that person. I mean, come on. Wakey, wakey, everybody. Our economies are thriving off of it right now. And the people at the top and the people that are involved in these, you know, keeping these evil systems going, they know if it collapses, that's going to affect the economy as well. So anyways, you guys, that's it. Have a nice day. Peace.